Okay, you're a runner and you want to get more out of your training. The hard work that you're doing, you want to get more benefits. If you start eating right, eating the right things, eating at the right time, you can get more benefits. You can maximize more aerobic benefits, more fitness, better races in future just by eating the right things at the right time. Keep watching today's video. You'll get all the tips, what to eat, when to eat, what's helped me get the 209 marathon and the Olympics for Ireland. Keep watching, enjoy the video, add it to your routines, and watch your training and race results improve. Okay, so today's lecture is the importance of food after training and help with that and what sort of tips you can do. So I've just finished a little bit of a training session. It was just 10 times 100 meters. I think I did 12 because I lost count. But it's all about what can you do now, how should you do it, what should you eat, what sort of foods, what sort of timing, and getting the body recovering as quickly as possible to make sure you're ready for the next training session. All right, so you've just finished your training session. I've literally just finished a training session, and in the first 20 minutes, I'm gonna eat this. It's a Lara bar. You can get these in America, but there's all sorts of, protein bars, recovery bars that you can have right after. If you have something right after, especially in that first 20 minutes when the muscles are craving something, definitely protein, 2 things. It buys you a bit of time to go have your shower, get the damn clothes off so that you're not going to get sick. But a bit of protein 10-20 minutes before a bigger meal slows down the rate of glucose. So I always go for a protein bar, and then I make sure within the next sort of 40 minutes, 50 minutes, I have a bigger meal, and that meal is going to replenish some of the carbohydrates that I've burnt, but it's also going to help the process of loading some carbohydrates for perhaps a harder session the next day. Always make sure you have some protein bars in your kit bag, especially if you're going to the track or you're going to rush to maybe collect the kids straight after training. Before you know it, often 1 hour can go by, 2 hours can go by, and you haven't ate. So I'm not going to have this because I literally just finished training, and I probably should have had this before I went and showered, but that's what you want to be looking to do. Okay, so hopefully you've had your meal within the first 20 minutes, and that was a bit of protein, and like we talked about, that's very good and gets the body recovering quickly before you get distracted and you go off and do things. The next thing that you want to do after training is make sure roughly about 1 hour post big session, and this is super important for maybe people that work full time and maybe train at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. What you might find is happening is you're getting up at 6, you maybe weren't fueling before for obvious reasons, you weren't going to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning. You've done your big hard session, you've came back, you're in a rush, you've ate your protein bar, which is fine, but because you're in a rush to get to work, because that's very normal, what you probably find you do is have maybe like a bit of toast, maybe some eggs, 400 calories, but what if you've burnt about 1200? You're probably finding that by the time you get to 11 or 12, you're starting to crash a bit because glucose levels are going down. But what you also might find is you get a bit irritable, you're more stressed at work. So make sure the night before, maybe in like a plastic Tupperware, have some pasta, some chicken, some rice, some salmon, some veg. Not all of that, but some of those. And what you can do then is you can finish your training, you can have your protein bar, have your shower, pack your work bag, get to work. And then when you get to work, eat something substantial. Start to replace those calories that you burnt that morning, but you also need to start thinking about the rest of the day and then fueling for the next day's training. Super, super important. So within 1 hour, you want to have a big meal, something substantial, probably around 800 to 1,000 calories. You don't want to be living in calorie debt. Within that meal, make sure you're eating your protein, your fat, and your veg first, and then your carbohydrates. But you can have like a big bowl of personally, after I do a big session, I'll have my protein bar within 20 minutes. And then I'm going to like maybe a cafe in town in Teddington and maybe getting like bacon carbonara with like a side of broccoli and maybe some chicken, chicken and bacon carbonara. And I make sure I'm eating the broccoli first, then a bit of the chicken, and then I get into the meal. And that's way better for the blood sugar. Okay guys, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. Take these tips. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. There's no point watching this stuff. There's no point listening and not implementing it into your training. You have to take your training the way it is right now and add some of these tips. Eating within 20 minutes. Eating the protein before you're going to eat your carbohydrates. Eating some vegetables before you're going to eat the carbohydrates. All of these little things, these little details, working on these basics, it's going to help your training. It's going to help your body recover better. Once your body starts recovering better, it's going to lead to better races. Remember the sponge analogy. You dip a sponge in water, but if the sponge is already full, it can't absorb more water. If your body is not recovering and you're not looking after those little details, you cannot possibly absorb more fitness. Start to look after the little things, get on top of this nutrition, and your body and your race results will thank you for it. Okay guys, so I hope you really enjoyed that. I hope you learned something, and remember, you can take a horse to water but you can't make it drink, so start to apply these things. This course and these lectures all came from joggingroom.com. Go check it out. Tell me in the comments below, did you like this style? Is there other topics you'd like to be covered? And enjoy your running. Take it seriously, be disciplined, be focused, and those race results will improve. Take care and happy trails.